If you've been on my channel for a while, these cat-like creatures might look familiar to you, but don't rush to leave. In this video, I'll tell you the story of how these kitties were made and show a few extra behind-the-scenes moments. This project was born from my desire to experiment with different techniques close to sculpture. The idea was exactly what you see in the sketch: a creature jumping against the background of a night sky and the moon. But during the sculpting process, I realized that I wanted to try different paint versions, so I made a silicone mold for casting. Castings and I are a whole separate topic for conversation. At one point, I tried very hard to create casts, and they tried even harder not to be created. Well, at least I managed to create these semi-flat shapes. Well, almost. Unfortunately, this moment exists only as a short video, so I can show it only in this format. But I can't leave it out, it perfectly illustrates about 90% of my successful work with castings. Okay, I did have a successful attempts too, sometimes. When it was time to paint the background wooden pieces, I remembered a technique that street artists use. I think it's called spray paint art. I decided to try something similar. Very simplified, of course, but the experience was pleasant, even if useless. And this paint splattering technique with an old toothbrush I learned back in kindergarten. It's pretty funny that years later I used it for another project. You never know where kindergarten knowledge might come in handy. These are the results I ended up with back in 2021. Fun fact, the original moon idea was sold, and all my other versions stayed at home, so apparently the first idea was the most successful one. But besides that trio, I made a few more casts that never found a purpose. And then 2026 came, the year when I made myself deal with all my unfinished projects, either finish them or throw them away. That's how my hands finally reached those 3 cats from the beginning of the video. This cast was almost finished, I only refined the details of the face and the back paw pad. This cat has a chameleon color, it can look blue or purple, depending on the angle you are viewing it from. Like the previous cat, this one already had its base color and only needed some work on the face and paw. But that didn't feel like enough to me, so I decided to add a few golden accents. I like it better this way. What about you? This one required the most work. The cast was completely blank and I had no ideas for it at all. Inspired by the previous cat, I first thought about adding golden accents again. Snowflakes this time, but I didn't like that idea. Though he did end up getting some gold spots after all. All of them received strong magnets, and now they can be attached to any metal surface that magnets interact with. And here's the small bonus for those who watched until the end. Concepts of my other similar projects. Unfortunately, they never got developed because the jumping cats didn't receive much response, and that upset me back then. I still like these sketches, but I don't think they're inspiring enough for me now to bring them to life.